Sunday night. I gotta prep out all my meals. Right now, I am currently prepping my eggs. So I got 36 eggs boiling, cooking some ground beef. Already washed my rice. Gonna start prepping some oatmeal here in a few minutes. I got the oven going, preheating that shit so that I can start throwing my chicken in there, prep that out. Hopefully, y'all can stick around, watch what I'm doing. Um, Nothing too fancy, super basic. Just trying to get my meals in is the biggest thing. Making sure I'm hitting my protein and my carbs and my fats. So just come along, check it out. If you like anything, let me know. Like I said, it's nothing fancy at all. Super bare bones, very much bodybuilding style eating. But that's what works for me, making sure that I stay on my diet. Yeah, I do eat some foods here and there that aren't, but that's like once a week. So I just want to make sure I stay focused so that when I know that my food's prepped, that's one less thing that I have to worry about so that I can stay focused and just focus on work, focus on training, focus on lifting, and everything else kind of just falls in line once I get all my meals prepped. So it just gives me a nice head start of the week. Make sure I crush that this next week. Alright, my next meal is going to be fucking some oatmeal. I do weigh out my carbs just so I can make sure I'm hitting them right. So for this, half cup is 40 grams. 27 grams of carbs. That's literally all I'm using this for. It does have some protein, but my biggest focus on this is carbs. I will put some protein in this as well, just to make it a full complete meal. If I'm feeling real spicy, or if I know this week I have a lot as far as training goes, if I'm running a lot, I will throw honey in. It's a tablespoon of honey. Usually that just sweetens it up a little bit. And then I will throw a couple blueberries in just to flavor it up. These are meals that I'll eat from Monday all the way to Sunday. So usually on the back end, I really won't put in blueberries because they are frozen. But I like to have everything prepped. I do work a lot, and I spend a lot of time working out and training. So I like just having all this stuff just done, prepped, and ready so that in the morning when I wake up, all I have to do is just grab breakfast, grab lunch, grab my dinner, and just head out the door and do what I need to do for that day. So turn on my scale. $40 grams. I'm just gonna continue doing this for all 5 Tupperwares. Yeah. All right. So next, cook down my ground beef. So I just ended up just putting some onions and some garlic in first, sauteed that, and then I threw ground beef on top. So right now, just getting ready to season it up, and then after that should be done. Start putting it in my Tupperware, portion sizing it. Literally, all I get for my seasonings, like I said, I try to switch it up. So I do a lot of Mrs. Dash. A lot of Mrs. Dash. Like half my cupboard is Mrs. Dash. I'll just start throwing shit in there that smells good and go from there. It works for me. I know a lot of people are not able to eat very bland, but I wrestled my whole life and I did a lot of other strength sports where my focus really wasn't so much on enjoying the food, more or less just getting the food in and consuming. So a lot of my meals just tend to be very much like that, where I just need to get the calories in. This is done. This is like this is 3 packages of ground beef. So I'm just putting like a first amount of seasoning, and then I'll try some of it, and then I'll go from there. But I usually will do that about like 2 or 3 times when I'm cooking a meat. Just so I can make sure that it is a little bit enjoyable. But yeah. And I also do a lot of it just by looks. I'm like, oh shit, that does not look very appealing, so I'll throw some more in. Just finish off this. All stirred up. Looks like every piece has seasoning in it. So what I'm going to do is just cut this heat and start getting ready to prep my turkey that I have. Process is going to be literally the same. I'm not going to film it just because I prep it just the same. Pretty much do everything the same. Throw onion in, then some garlic, and then make sure it's cooked through. And then at the end, I'll throw my seasonings in to flavor it up, and then same thing, I'll put it in my Tupperware. At the end, once my rice is done cooking, I usually will put my meat in its own separate Tupperware, so that my focus at that time would be just prepping out my rice. I'll go through with prepping out the rice after it's done. And then after that, I'll start adding my ounces of meat on every Tupperware. So just stay tuned. 3 dozen of these. Each day I eat about 4 with breakfast. Boiling eggs just makes it a little bit easier. Not cooking, so I try to prep all my meals on Sunday. I already know that I'm gonna have a ton of dishes just in Tupperware, so I just make sure that I prep out all my meals on Sunday. So I wash all my big dishes on Sunday, and throughout the week I will hand wash or throw them in the dishwasher. It just works so much smoother. I used to, cook my eggs every morning, and I felt like it just took too much time out of my day to sit there, cook the eggs. Next thing I know, I have to wash my dishes, and then go from there. Like, yeah, it is a lot more enjoyable to eat. There are some times where I will choose to do that. Just right now with my schedule, it just makes it so much quicker to just grab, pack, and go. I am working a night shift, so cooking is... I wake up at like 10, go to the gym, come home, and then by the time I'm home, I am getting ready for work, and I just don't have time to sit there and cook and clean, so I try to just do all that prep work on Sundays, so I know that it's done, and I can just move forward. But yeah, so all these are done. Meal prep's done. Pretty much every meal looks the same. 9 ounces of protein, vegetables, The only difference is just the protein. I got all my oatmeals done, prepped. And then with this, just all my hard-boiled eggs. Just grabbing and going when I need them. Shit's done. Sunday night meal prep complete.